So I'm going to read from this book that I got very recently. It's kind of outdated, to be honest. It's 70s, but a lot of the information is good. I imagine there's been more thorough studies of all these Native American cultures that are covered in this book. But it does have some really good information directly from Native Americans. Now, it's not written by Native Americans. It's been written by Dennis Tedlock and Barbara Tedlock, but they spent a lot of time with Native Americans. It seems like many different tribes from what I can ascertain. I'll go ahead and give you a shot of the back, as much as the back you can see right there. Give you a good second. You can pause the video if you need to. And now it's somewhat of an anthology, as it says. The book is called Teachings from the American Earth. Teachings from the American Earth. And I really like that title, and it's Indian religion and philosophy. I think the term Indian is kind of outdated, but they seem to really care about the different traditions, so I think that they get a pass. Maybe I'm just too liberal. Anyway, now this is this man's name. I cannot pronounce it for the life of me. Now his I think his native name is Black Elk, and I think that the name of this this vision he's about to talk about that you can obtain. I think that the ritual is this word right here. I don't know how to pronounce that word, so I'm not going to try. Give you a shot of why not give you a shot of that page? Okay. Just in case my reading doesn't go as far as you'd like, just give you as much of that as I can. But I thought it was one that is appropriate for my office. Now, let me go ahead and read this for you. Crying for a vision. The crying for a vision ritual, like the purification rites of the Inipi, was used long before the coming of our most sacred pipe. This way of praying is very important, and indeed is at the center of our religion. For from it we have received many good things, even the 4 great rites, which I shall soon describe. Every man can cry for a vision or lament, and in the old days we all, men and women, lamented all the time. What is received through the lamenting is determined in part by the character of the person who does this, for it is only those people who are very qualified who receive the great visions, which are interpreted by our holy man, and which give strength and health to our nation. It is very important for a person who wishes to lament to receive aid and advice from a Wichasha Wakan, holy man, in parentheses, so that everything is done correctly. So if things are not done in the right way, something very bad can happen, and even a serpent could come and wrap itself around the lamenter. I think that's very symbolic, but maybe literally as well. You have all heard of our great chief, the priest Crazy Horse, but perhaps you did not know that he received most of his great power through the lamenting, which he did many times a year. And even in the winter, when it is very cold and very difficult, he received visions of the rock, the shadow, the badger, a prancing horse from which he received his name, the day, and also of Wanbli Galeshka, the spotted eagle. And from each of these he received much power and holiness. There are many reasons for going to a lonely mountaintop to lament. Some young people receive a vision when they are very young and when they do not expect it. And then they go to lament, and they might understand it better. Then we lament if we wish to make ourselves brave for a great ordeal, such as the sun dance, or to prepare for going on the warpath. Some people lament in order to ask some favor of the Great Spirit, such as curing a sick relative, and then we also lament as an act of thanksgiving for some great gift which the Great Spirit may have given us. But perhaps the most important reason for lamenting is that it helps us to realize our oneness with all things, to know that all things are our relatives, and then in behalf of all things, we pray to Wakantanka, that he may give us knowledge of him who is the source of all things, yet greater than all things. Our women also lament. After first purifying themselves in the Inipi, they are helped by other women, but they do not go up on the very high and lonely mountains. They go up on a hill in a valley, for they are women and need protection. When a person wishes to lament, he goes with a filled pipe to a holy man. He enters the teepee with the stem of the pipe pointed in front of him, and sits before the old man who is to be his guide. The lamenter then places the pipe on the ground with its stem now pointing towards himself, for it is he who wishes to gain knowledge. The holy man raises his hands above to Wakantanka and to the four directions, and taking up the pipe, he asks the man what he wishes. There we go. I wish to lament and offer my pipe to Wakantanka. I need your help and guidance, and wish you to send a voice for me to the powers above. To this the old man says, how? It is good, in parentheses. And then they leave the teepee, and walking a short distance, they face the west. The young man standing to the left of the holy man, and then they are joined by any others who may happen to be present. All raise their right hands, and the old man prays, holding the stem of the pipe to the heavens. He, hey, he, 4 times. Grandfather, Wakantanka, you are first and always have been. Everything belongs to you. It is you who have created all things. You are one and alone. And to you we are sending a voice. This young man here is in difficulty and wishes to offer the pipe to you. We ask that you give help to him. Within a few days he will offer his body to you. Upon the sacred earth, our mother and grandmother, he will place his feet in a sacred manner. All the powers of the world, the heavens and the star peoples, and the red and blue sacred days, all things that move in the universe, in the rivers, the brooks, the springs, all waters, all trees that stand, all the grasses of our grandmother, all the sacred peoples of the universe. Listen, a sacred relationship with you all will be asked by this young man, that his generations to come will increase and live in a holy manner. O you, winged one, there where the sun goes down, who guards our sacred pipe, help us. Help us to offer this pipe to Wakantanka, and he may give a blessing to this young man. To this all the people cry, how? And then they sit in a circle upon the ground. The old man offers the pipe to the 6 directions, lights it, and passes it first to the young man who is to lament. The lamenter offers it up with a prayer, and then it is smoked by everybody in the circle. When the pipe is smoked, it is handed back to the holy man, who cleans and purifies it, and hands it back to the young man, asking him when he wishes to lament. And a day is then decided upon. When this chosen day arrives, the young man wears only his buffalo robe, breechcloth, and moccasins, and he goes with his pipe to the teepee of the holy man. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Y'all let me know if you want me to read further from this in the future, or if you want some commentary on it. I'll give a little bit of commentary right here. Now, I cannot smoke weed or peyote because of my schizophrenia, and I used to smoke many, many years ago. But after my schizophrenia kicked in, I no longer have any good reactions with it, to be honest. Also, don't do it, it's illegal, blah. Well, it's not illegal for Native Americans and also Rastafarians. But anyway, what I do get a lot of, I wouldn't say that it's like I get visions from it or anything like that. I get a lot back from white sage, burning white sage. I do it in a lot of my rituals. And I like to fill a room with it and then listen to music and light candles and make offerings to the gods. And that white sage is just, it feels like it's like a portal, and it's creating like this substance in the air that kind of makes it more than it was before. It's hard to describe. But this lamenting thing, I've never heard of this. This is something I briefly looked at in here, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to share it. But I really liked the connection to the earth, calling her mother and grandmother. And I was surprised, but liked the idea of the God being one and everything being a part, but that one is greater than the whole. It reminded me of some of Godhead ideas in Hinduism, and which ironically the real the ones that were actually in this thing we called in India, I guess you could say. There's a lot of history, overlapping history I'm not going to get into, but yeah, I was surprised about the oneness, and I really liked. I also feel the very same way about the earth. I call the earth Jorah. Nobody else calls her that. In Asatru, it's Yorn, but I use the word Jorah, but she doesn't seem to mind. I'm not saying that sarcastically. Anyway, and I really like the fact that when you say it's lamenting, you're taking it seriously. Like, you're saying, I have a need that I have to have this vision. I have to have this piece of information. So I'm lamenting, I'm asking, I'm begging the forces that be, please give me this vision, please give me this knowledge. I like looking at it in a way of lamenting. And I think that making, like, having a community that supports you as far as, like, supporting you to have this vision, to actually put their own efforts into it, into getting you this vision from the one. I'm not going to use the name they use because I don't want to mispronounce it. I'm not going to open up the book again, but to the one. And I think that if a community can get behind somebody having a vision and really put all their effort into it, it's more likely to happen. At any rate, I would like to know your thoughts on this, and if you like this ritual, or do you think it reminds you of something else, if it's something that you would do. Let me know in the comment section below on YouTube. I'd greatly appreciate it. I try to get to every single comment. I usually get to your comment within 1 to 2 days, I've noticed. But at any rate, thank you very much. This is my office, as most of you know, and I always feel more secure and comfortable here than in most other places in the world. It's something about it, something about the calm death energy, not negative death energy. There's different kinds of death energy to me, but there's a calmness here. But all of you, listen to yourself. Don't assume you know everything, and try to learn the things that will help you move forward along your own paths. Y'all have a great day.